Jamison Williams, who's topped the 1,300-yard mark receiving on the year. It's the Lions and the Bengals, and it comes your way next on EA Sports.
Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. Today it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Detroit Lions. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game,
two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their third-year quarterback.
and he's certainly putting together an
They go play action. Here's Hooker. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run for the first time with the speedster, Jahmyr Gibbs. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. Well, partner, this offense 12-0 now on the year following their latest victory. And during the week, a lot of folks making comparisons between this squad and the 1985 Bears. You know, they too were 12-0 at this juncture of the season before losing on a Monday night 38-24 to the Dolphins at the Orange Bowl way back on December 2nd of 85. But then they never lose again en route to winning Super Bowl 20.
And when you look back on it, partner, didn't it almost feel like a setup game? Because they were playing the Dolphins, and the Dolphins were protecting their franchise's undefeated season of 1972, that team. And you know,
there he goes left side. A big play there for Detroit. 48 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off play action. Here's Hooker out to his left. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. Montgomery diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown. Just power football there, down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive, 6 plays, 75 yards. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. And he returns this to the 22. Here come the Bengals. And CD, of course, it's Joe Burrow out of LSU at quarterback.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Here's 2nd and 10. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Man open. That's Jamar Chase complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down.
And we're going to see the ball in the air quite a bit here. This is a top 5 passing offense in the NFL. And they certainly like to get everybody involved. So this defense, they're going to have to be able to counterpunch somehow. They couldn't there, and it's an opening drive, first down.
Now Burrow on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Burrow will throw. Throw left side complete to Chase. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
No gain on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Now it's Burrow. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. Will Dissly, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down. Right where they set him down started. They need a 4-10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Detroit was up for the challenge through the air. They force a 4th down.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on 3rd downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
Hooker now off play action. And that's Elliott, complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Good sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Lions first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Hooker's going to throw it. And at the 42-yard line here and brought down there. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down. Here's Hooker. And that's going to be incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Hooker. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. His second catch. This one not quite as dynamic as his first. And it's 2nd down. Throwing, Hooker. He's airing it out for Williams. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Trying to find Jameson Williams. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. You talk about this Bengals defense. This unit against the pass, hoping to get better for sure. Number 25 in the NFL right now.
And the easy thought process is that stopping the run is the least of their problems because they're facing the number 1 passing team in the NFL. But if they don't stop the run as well, then that just opens up the passing game even more. They've got to do both.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. There's a look at receiver Jamar Chase as the Bengals get set to go on offense. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. Out of his hands quickly to Higgins. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 2nd down. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he's got a Bengals first down. His good running gets him to about the 44.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
1st down. Here's Burrow. Connecting on the out route here with Higgins. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and a yard. Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. And he will find his man Chase complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 27-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Now it's Burrow. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Martin Emerson. And the Lions are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. As they've got it as we resume action. Now Hooker. He's airing it out for Williams. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 36 yards on the play.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Counter play. Here's Gibbs. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. From the 35, here's the 2nd down and 6. Another run for Gibbs here. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Jahmyr Gibbs, his 8th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Lions are able to widen their advantage.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Extra point right down the middle, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
On 3rd and 1, Burrow. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Lions will take over. Jahmyr Gibbs and the Lions offense getting set once again. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've already done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
1st down, here's the run with Montgomery. Fights through it. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Here's 2nd and 3. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Well, this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And this one is right through. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So they get the 3. It was 4th and 1, and I think you were doing what I was doing. I was looking down at the sideline. I'm not sure the offensive unit wanted the 3. They wanted to go for it.
But when have we ever seen a unit that didn't want to go for it in that situation, right? Sometimes it's just way more important to have the points on the board than to worry about any type of a gamble.
And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. On play action, they'll throw. Now Burrow loses the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. Fortunately for him, that ball stayed close so that he could recover it on his own.
And you know the prayers that were going through his head as the ball escaped from him? How happy was he at the end of it when he found the football again, able to retain possession?
So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. Take over. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. Hold on here because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Hooker now on 1st down. That pass caught. It's Williams. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
Despite writing it down in my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
Off play action. Here's Hooker. And it's caught. And the Lions are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there. And
he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Hendon Hooker keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Lions take a 3-touchdown lead. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. This taken in at the goal line. Well, now how about this return? And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed. But as we know and often happens, this is all still subject to change.
You're so right about that. But even though the math isn't there yet, I think it's going to take new math for them not to make the playoffs. They're almost certainly going to be in the tournament and certainly going to be a dangerous team if you have to play against them.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he goes out right around the 39. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10.
Jahmyr Gibbs and the rest of the offense headed back out.
And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
They go play action. Here's Hooker.
6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the 2nd half of this contest.
And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to about the 19. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Fielded at the 33. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. If we give you opportunities, he's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
Now Burrow. Now he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5. The LSU connection. Burrow to Chase for the Cincinnati 1st.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To the air again, Burrow. This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
2nd and 9.
Here's Burrow.
This goes out wide from Mixon.
And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. This is Mixon on the draw. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half.
McPherson's kick is good.
And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And Patterson not going to return this. It'll come out to the 25. The Lions now taking over late in this first half. And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Here's Hooker to throw it. Open man Hamler, that's complete.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive.
Again, it's Hooker looking to throw. They're going right back to Hamler.
The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
He's got this to Williams, complete. Touchdown! Jameson Williams.
As the first half is winding down.
And the Lions will extend their lead here just before halftime.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, and they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Extra point attempt to come here. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays.
And it was Jameson Williams wrapping things up with a touchdown. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return
to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they were. Tyler Boyd, he's going to go. Now a timeout taken. One more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw caught by Higgins.
Now a timeout called with 3 seconds to go. And, of course, they're in field goal range in the final seconds of this first half. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll get our tour started out at Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. And they are nearing halftime with the Steelers out in front. Najee Harris, the lone touchdown there as he's cashed one in on the ground. From there, let's stay in the Midwest and head down to Kansas City to check on the Chiefs at Arrowhead. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Buffalo Bills. Patrick Mahomes looking good. 2 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Denver Broncos. Trey Lance leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. We got an excellent first half from the man from Tennessee. That's Hendon Hooker. He had a touchdown both in the air and on the ground to help push his guys into the lead at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Bucs set to get the football first, and they trail here as we get started in the second half.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Bengal offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it. Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Kirby Joseph.
And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Now that one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
First down throw here. It's Hooker. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Now a 2nd and 2. Hooker's going to throw it. Over the middle and taken in by Laporta. And he's brought down. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
On 1st and goal, they'll try the option left. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. His 3rd rushing touchdown on the year and 4th overall. And the Lions take advantage of the field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. So they're able to capitalize there on the short field, and that might prove to be the score that turns out the lights.
The party's over. Oh, sorry about that. That's an old reference there, folks. But, yeah, they've been the better of the 2 teams by far, and that's great complimentary football right there. Defense gets the turnover, sets up the short field, and the offense goes right out and scores to open up a pretty sizable lead.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game.
And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. Picked off by Martin Emerson. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Jamison Williams and the Lions get set for this next possession. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down. Got Patterson on a quick slant here. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that will bring up 2nd down. Going up the gut, Montgomery. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead him to 4th down. Running for it, Montgomery. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. David Montgomery, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Lions' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. So they only needed a couple of feet there on 4th down, but they got more than that and then some as he takes this into the end zone.
And I love your description right there, right? 4th and short. They got that. No problem. Let's go ahead and get the rest of it. Finish it off in the end zone. Touchdown. Everyone goes away happy on that one.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's.
And got his man complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Now a 2nd and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And, look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the third quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to rip it occasionally to take a few hits off the quarterback because right now, you just know those pass rushers are fired up to get after it.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Another 3 on the board. He's been the lone bright spot. That's now 4 field goals.
If this offense had finished a few drives, we'd be looking at a different complexion to this ball game because right now, the trade is really wrong for them, isn't it? They're trading field goals while the other team's scoring touchdowns. That's not going to work.
The Lions offense set to take over. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Hooker now off play action. That's to the tight end, Laporta.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Hooker.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
It was Myles Murphy who fired in and got him to the ground. They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Now Hooker. That is caught by Laporta.
And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 30. 23 yards the pickup there.
Well, those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the 4th quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, and Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will he be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys a few bonus stats before he calls them off the field?
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Hooker.
And this is going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
I got to think at this point, third quarter, if you're able to hold on to the ball, get 3 at the end, that's all you're looking for.
I would agree with that because right now, this is a job well done by them. In fact, it's almost time for handshakes, a little dap on the sidelines, maybe even starting to discuss post-game plans. And for the guys who haven't played yet, go ahead and get loose. Your time is now.
T. Higgins out on offense for the rest of his teammates for this next drive.
He's been a load for them to handle defensively, I know that much.
But look at him. He's got 7 catches on the game, and he's starting to shred them a little bit because not only is he catching them, he's picking up good yardage, keeping the chains moving, ball control, you name it. This big guy, what did you say? He's been a load for them to handle?
That's right.
Agreed.
This has 7 catches, as you said, over 100 yards. Burrow looking to pass.
Finding Mixon here again on back-to-back plays.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, Burrow.
An off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
And you can tell just by looking at him that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another 4th down.
This is brought in at the 21. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 28 yards there and give him the first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 46. Able to slither by. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
From the 38 now. Here's 2nd and a couple. Off play action. Here's Hooker. That's complete to Laporta.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 14. 23 yards the pickup there.
There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. And off to Gibbs, headed right here.
He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field.
2nd and 6 from the 10.
And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Hooker.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but They'll take the three, and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here in this fourth quarter.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And they'll get to him right away at the 40. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Here's Burrow. His throw incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Burrow will throw. And that is incomplete.
Following the play here, now we've got an injury. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll try and throw for it with Burrow.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they'll get the conversion on a gain of 14.
Again, it's Burrow.
He will find his man Chase complete.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Burrow on play action.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
In a game that hasn't gone your way, you've got to throw in the end zone at every opportunity and hopefully climb back in as much as possible. He put way too much on that throw, though, and that shot ends up with nothing.
This is caught. Touchdown, Bengals.
Joe Mixon with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Bengals are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield in the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Detroit's offense ready to take over. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4.
And nothing but daylight ahead. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34.
116 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
On second down, here's Gibbs.
And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Hooker on first down.
He finds his target. It's Schultz. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal.
Working out of the shotgun, Hooker finds Gibbs on the check down.
And he is going to lose yardage here. This will wind up a loss on the play. And now what we have here, a 3rd and goal.
Here's Hooker.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
So a nice kick there as they're able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
First down, here's Burrow. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
Flying in for that sack, Aiden Hutchinson.
You can almost see all the defenders rubbing their hands together with glee because we all know they relish the chance to bring down a quarterback of his caliber. Anyone who brings him down has plenty to talk about. Not just a sack, but a big win built off the efforts of this defense.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. And the Bengals on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line.
Jahmyr Gibbs and the Lions offense getting set once again.
He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete.
And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39.
That one good for 26 and a first down.
They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers.
trying the left side with Gibbs. He'll take it past the 40 to the 41, second down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he'll pick up about 3 there, up to the 43.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
They're going option play on third down. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Cincinnati set to take over once again. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Burrow. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. And Burrow going to throw again. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down of the sack.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now it's Burrow. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So for the Lions, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, you wonder what this will do to their playoff prospects as they fall to 8-5. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.